This is a Soul Podcast briefing.
This is your Soul Podcast briefing for October 30th, 2020. Responding to zombies. This is Joe McPherson. Doing a special one today. Going to announce Halloween is canceled. I repeat, Halloween is canceled. Pretty much. So, we have heard that the government has been discouraging people from celebrating Halloween, specifically in Itaewon, because that's usually where Halloween festivities are focused. If you just watched that first episode of Itaewon Class, that's how they introduced Itaewon, is through the Halloween celebrations. We knew they were discouraging people from getting together, but now I recently had discussions with one of the venue owners in the Itaewon, Haebangchon, Gyeonggi-dan areas, and the government has done this last minute threat, I would call it. They have not officially closed everyone down. They've just made it so that people will voluntarily close for Halloween. So pretty much all Halloween events have been canceled. What they did was they made it so that they said, oh, you can stay open, but you have to, everyone has to be registered. Of course, that's always the case, but every single person has to be doing social distancing, not just like people sitting at the same tables in their social distance. Every person has to be socially distanced. Everyone has to wear masks at all times, even when they're sitting at a table. Even when they're eating, they have to be wearing a mask unless they're just putting food in their mouths. And they're sending a special police contingent out there to check each place, each venue individually, to make sure this is particularly targeted at bars, that they're following it, and if anyone is caught just violating it by a hair, they will be forced to close down for 2 weeks and fined 3 million won. So a lot of places, pretty much, it would be safe to say pretty much every place has said it's not worth the risk. They're targeting foreign businesses. Since, it's Itaewon, which is still, even though it's been gentrified so much that the Koreans have pretty much pushed the foreigners out of there, but they're still in the outliers of Haebangchon and Gyeonggi-dan a bit. It's still considered the foreigner district. On top of that, Halloween has been considered the foreign holiday. It's kind of been criticized by more conservative elements as this, well, for one thing, it's bringing the devil to Korea, or even worse, it's bringing the gays to Korea. Halloween has been associated with Korea's gay culture, Seoul's gay culture specifically. So it looks like they're really targeting the foreign business community with these regulations. They're not actively closing down the businesses. Why? Because if they did, they'd have to compensate the businesses. So this is their workaround. This is their loophole, is they're making it so difficult for a business to stay open that they will voluntarily close. That way the government gets what it wants, and it doesn't have to pay anyone for it. Of course, a lot of these makes sense. We don't want big giant crowds. We don't want cluster outbreaks like we had during Children's Day and May 5th weekend this year. We don't want another one of those cluster infections, even though that cluster infection happened at a Korean-owned nightclub, not at foreign-owned businesses, but it's being targeted at them. What people are upset about is businesses only found out about these tight measures at the very last minute, as in yesterday, Thursday, 2 days before, right before Halloween weekend, they found out. So they're scrambling canceling bands, canceling all these scheduled events. A lot of people are going to be going to Itaewon et al. And be really surprised that everything's going to be closed. I don't know what the reactions will be, but in the long run, I would say maybe this is a good thing, because if an outbreak did happen, so we have in the foreigner district on a foreigner holiday, the foreigners will be blamed, and there will be more, I would say, regulations, rules, slapdowns on the foreign community in general as a panicked reaction. We've seen this a few times in the past. This is the reason why E2, well, most teachers have to get those police checks, and why the E2s needed to get the AIDS test. Is we've had these general panics towards foreigners here, which results in overreaching regulations, making it very difficult for people to live here who are not born here. Anyway, that's another rant for another day. What I'm just saying right now is, okay, so if you're planning on going to anywhere for Halloween, check the venue's Facebook pages. That's usually where they have been posting updates. All these events are being canceled. Already I'm seeing some venues are just scratching off Halloween and already planning for Thanksgiving. It sucks this year. Now we're running on my company, we're running the Dark Side of Seoul Ghost Walk still, but we're almost booked to capacity as well. We're doing events too. If you want to find out more, just go to facebook.com/darksidesoul, and you can see what we're planning. We're still continuing doing our tours all through the winter. So if you still wanted something that's a little more Corona safe, because we do follow precautions on those tours, sign up. It's not just a Halloween thing. We do it all year long. But other venues, I would suggest, if you still want to do something for Halloween, try to do something with friends. Make it a very intimate, subdued Halloween this year. Sorry about it. Everyone's disappointed. It's just the way the government has made this very last minute and really has mainly targeted foreign businesses has been a little disappointing, to say the least. So until next time, this is Joe McPherson for Seoul Podcast Briefing. Stay safe.